So what I want to do is I want to model in, if I look here at my beam and if I look at my column, they aren't tied together very well. Ignoring this clash to start off with, we're just learning how to do some basic principles of modeling concrete, and then we're going to move on to creating a profound model. I need to put in these cogged L-shaped beams to integrate or tie the concrete together. So I come to my west elevation. I've changed the scale here to 1 to 50, and I've hidden a section that I have running. So I'm going to come zoom into a corner, and hopefully this will make sense as I draw it. If I go rebar, what I'm after is an L-shaped beam. It's going to run through here and then down to tie the two together. Now here it's not letting me. Okay, I get this, just this flat L bar in the opposite plane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to click the host of the column. Now I know this is where my beam is. This is where my column is. So I want to work out a way to get 450 away from here. So I can go 450 plus the thickness of the beam is 750. So I can come down 750 from the top. There's a few different ways that we can do it, but I'm happy to go, for now, I'm just going to free sketch to here. I'll then come up 500. I'll then come across 500. This isn't very accurate. Please bear that in mind. We're just learning how to put these in for now. Enter. Escape. Rebar. I'm going to use N12s. Okay. I might change visibility here. Make it unobscured and view as a solid. Go OK. We can put marks and comments in later. Click the green tick. So what I've done is I've modeled in this cogged beam here. Now the next thing I can do, if I click on it, I can say maximum with spacing. I'll leave these at 100 mil or even 150 millimeter spacings. Okay, again, this is just for the purpose of learning how to put these in. If I come to my 3D, these are the bars I've put in. Okay, 1, 2, 3. They're cogged down, and what they do is they tie both the concrete beam and the column together. Now what I'm going to do is make sure that they are actually lining up and I haven't got steel floating, which I do. I have this steel beam, reinforcement sitting outside of my host. So I'm going to fix that up. Okay, it's taking the face of the column. So I need to make sure that these are still inside of the cover requirements. Okay. So I can move it across if I have to. And same with this one. So tab will allow me to select it, and then I can move it again. I can just delete that one out the middle. Just gonna undo that. There we go. Oops, sorry. Before I went one too many. Okay. So this is how we can model in different rebar shapes. Okay, I can put loops on them, I can do whatever I'd like. We just have to make sure that we tie them in. So please take notes as to how we can put in these different shapes or these cogged beams. The next thing I need to show you, and please make sure again that you're taking notes of all of this, is how to create a customized beam. So I have some edge beams here, but I might have a band beam running in the center, spanning from supports. So I need to be able to create that. Just like our internal footings for a house, we can create those beams. So what I need to do is File, New, Family. This time what I'm after is when we draw our concrete beams, they come out as framing elements. So metric structural framing beams and braces. Go open. Now this here is just our stock standard family properties for our beams, or for our like bracings and framing elements. I come straight away to one of my side views, so either my left or my right. And what I can see here is this is representing just a square block. So if I select it, I want to start changing some things here. But before I do that, I want to click this dashed line. Okay. I'm going to untick this defines origin, because I don't want my origin to be at the center of my mass anymore. Now what I'm going to do is click on my extrusion, or the rectangular block, and go edit extrusion. Now this can be a bit tricky, alright, but these reference lines, we need to have them in here. I guess you can look at them as the constraints of our framing. But to the core of Revit, this is how the families have been created, especially our angles or our steel beams, our concrete beams and everything else. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'll show you a way to recreate this beam or a concrete beam, and simply as we go through, depending on what beam we want, we can modify and recreate new ones. So what I'm going to do first is this top line here. I'm going to go defines origin. Then I'm going to go right click, create similar, 100 millimeters down to here. Then I'm going to draw a line at a 45-degree line to here, escape, another one at a 45-degree line to here. Okay, and then I'll just delete this line here, move these down, and then draw another line across. Okay, so this looks a lot like our internal footing. Alright, but we're going to change some of the parameters and stuff in a minute. Alright. So the next thing we need to do is I can delete that reference line. I need to lock in some parameters. What I mean by that is I need to, if I load this into Revit, this is going to be fixed at this size. I want to be able to make it so when I go edit type, I can select a depth and a width. We can specify another one up the top as well. So if I go measure from top to bottom, from the width of my bottom. The other thing I want to make sure is that from this dashed line, if I increase the size, it's even on both sides. So I take this measurement here. So first thing is I click on this one and make it equal. Second thing, I click on my bottom measurement and up in here I go create parameter, and this is going to be my beam bottom width. Go OK. Then this one here, add parameter, beam depth, and go OK. If you want, you can do another one from the top here. So now these parameters, so my depth and width and my quality has been locked in. I'm going to make my material concrete cast in place, so I can specify it later. Okay, click the tick. Now the next thing I'm going to do, come back to edit extrusion. Now what I'm going to do is select all of this here, move from the top to this center line here. You'll see why when we put it into our model that this here is kind of going to act as the top of our slab. Click the tick. Okay, and then from there I can load this back into my model. There's nothing else I have to change in here. No, that's okay. So file, save as, family. This is going to be our custom beam. This also can be your internal footing. I use the same beam. Go save. Loading the project. Okay, so now if I come to my level 2, which is where my slab is, I can draw one from here to here. I'll come in, I'll just extend it. Oh, I'll take another section. Let's do that, it's probably easier. I'll take a section through. Don't want to see everything just yet. Go to view. Okay, now I can't see it at the moment. What I haven't done is I haven't specified to show me this detail at a coarse level. So if I change to fine, it will come in. Shaded. Okay, so now I have a new beam sitting in here. Alright, so that's how I can create this new beam. Then I can do whatever I like with it. I can put rebar in it, I can move it, I can change concrete grades on it. In here, my edit type, so I can change in here my depth to 300, my beam bottom width, I can change that to 300, go OK, and that will make my beam wider. So that's why we set these parameters, to make sure that I can actually model and change around this beam here. Alright, I have all my rebar cover settings in here now. So it's just like a normal beam. That's how we recreate them. Okay.